You set your alarm. You fall asleep fine. And then 3 a.m. hits. Your eyes open. Your brain is already running. You stare at the ceiling and wonder, why does this keep happening? Here's what nobody tells you. Waking up in the middle of the night, specifically around 3 a.m., is not random. It's not bad luck, and it is absolutely not a sign that something is broken inside you. It's a signal, a remarkably precise biological signal that your body is sending you every single night. And once you understand what that signal actually means, you can stop fighting it and start fixing it. Today's video reveals the exact science behind why you wake up at 3 a.m., what's happening inside your brain and body at that moment, and the 3 evidence-based protocols that can completely eliminate this problem, starting tonight. Stay until the end, because the 3rd protocol is the one most people never hear about, and it's the one that actually works. Part 1. The architecture behind your 3 a.m. wake-up. Let's start with the foundation, because you cannot fix something you don't understand. Your sleep is not one long continuous event. It's a series of 90-minute cycles, each one containing different stages. You move through light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, in that order, before the cycle resets. Think of it like a playlist that repeats 4 or 5 times per night. Here's where it gets interesting. The composition of each cycle changes dramatically as the night progresses. In your first 2 cycles, the early part of the night, your sleep is heavily loaded with deep sleep. This is the restorative, physically regenerative stage. Your brain is slow. Your body is repairing tissue, consolidating memories, and secreting growth hormone. But by the 3rd and 4th cycle, which fall right around 3 to 4 a.m. for most people, the proportion of deep sleep drops almost to 0. These late cycles are dominated almost entirely by REM sleep. Your brain becomes dramatically more active. Your body temperature rises, and your sleep becomes extremely light and fragile. According to research published in the journal Sleep, this shift toward REM-dominant sleep in the early morning hours is what makes the 3 a.m. window so biologically vulnerable. You are simply in the lightest, most easily disrupted phase of your entire night. So, here's the first key insight. Waking up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. is not insomnia. It's a sleep architecture reality. The question is, what's pushing you over the edge from light sleep into full wakefulness? And there are 3 main culprits. Part 2. The 3 biological triggers. Trigger 1. The cortisol surge. Cortisol is your primary stress and alertness hormone. Most people think cortisol is the enemy, but that's wrong. Cortisol is essential. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you functional throughout the day. Here's the critical detail. Your cortisol levels naturally begin to rise in the early morning hours. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, cortisol starts climbing approximately 2 to 3 hours before your natural wake time. and this process begins around 3 to 4 a.m. for most people on a typical sleep schedule. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and it's completely normal. But here's the problem. If your baseline cortisol is already elevated from chronic stress, poor sleep habits, excessive caffeine, or disrupted circadian rhythms, that early morning cortisol surge becomes powerful enough to push you completely awake instead of just nudging you toward lighter sleep. Think of it like this. Imagine your nervous system is a volume dial. The cortisol surge at 3 a.m. is like someone turning that dial up slightly. For a well-regulated system, the dial moves from 3 to 4, and you stay asleep. But for a stressed, dysregulated system, the dial jumps from 7 to 10, and you snap awake. The implications here are enormous, because if elevated baseline cortisol is your trigger, then the fix is not about what you do at bedtime. It's about what you do throughout the entire day. Trigger 2, blood sugar instability. This one surprises most people, but the science is extremely clear. When your blood sugar drops significantly during the night, your body interprets this as a low-grade emergency. In response, it releases adrenaline and cortisol to stimulate glucose production. These hormones are stimulating by definition, and they absolutely wake you up. A study published in the journal Nutrients found that individuals who consumed high glycemic foods in the evening showed significantly more nighttime awakenings compared to those who ate lower glycemic meals. This explains why a late-night bowl of cereal, a glass of fruit juice, or even a larger dinner with refined carbohydrates can trigger that precise 3 a.m. wake-up. The blood sugar spike happens, then insulin clears it, then levels crash, and the crash happens right in that early morning window. Ask yourself this. Do you typically wake up feeling slightly anxious, heart racing, or with a mild headache? That's a classic blood sugar crash signature. Not panic, not anxiety disorder, blood sugar. Trigger 3, circadian rhythm misalignment. Your circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal clock embedded in virtually every cell of your body. It regulates not just sleep, but body temperature, hormone release, digestion, immune function, and dozens of other processes. When your circadian rhythm is properly synchronized, sleep architecture flows predictably. Each cycle transitions smoothly. You wake up naturally near your intended wake time. But when your rhythm is disrupted by inconsistent sleep schedules, late-night light exposure, shift work, or social jet lag, your body essentially loses track of time. It can't accurately predict when you should be waking up. And so it hedges. It creates multiple arousal windows throughout the night. According to Dr. Matthew Walker, neuroscientist and author of Why We Sleep, even a single night of inconsistent sleep timing can measurably disrupt circadian hormone timing for the following 24 to 48 hours. This is why weekend sleep patterns destroy Monday nights. You stay up late Saturday, sleep in Sunday, and now your body's internal clock is 90 minutes off, exactly enough to shift that natural cortisol surge into a full 3 a.m. wake-up. Part 3. What's actually happening in your brain at 3 a.m.? Let's zoom in for a moment, because understanding this changes how you respond when you wake up. When you jolt awake in the middle of the night, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates before your prefrontal cortex comes fully online. Your prefrontal cortex is the rational, logical part of your brain, but it takes several minutes to fully boot up after waking. This means you experience an approximately 5 to 10 minute window where you're running almost entirely on emotion and threat detection with very little rational override. This is why everything feels more catastrophic at 3 a.m. Your financial problems feel unsolvable. Your relationship issues feel terminal. Your health anxiety spikes. You're not being irrational. You're running on a brain that is biologically wired to scan for danger at that moment. This is also why the worst thing you can do when you wake at 3 a.m. is immediately start problem solving. You're sending blood flow to your prefrontal cortex, raising alertness, and making it nearly impossible to fall back asleep. The smarter move, which we'll get to in the protocols, is to work with your brain biology instead of against it. Part 4. The 3 protocols that actually eliminate this. Protocol 1. Cortisol reset through morning light. The most powerful intervention for normalizing your cortisol curve costs absolutely nothing. Get outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up. No sunglasses. At least 5 to 10 minutes of natural light exposure. Ideally, 10 to 20 minutes. This is not a wellness platitude. According to research from the Salk Institute, morning light exposure precisely anchors your circadian clock, which directly regulates the timing and amplitude of your nightly cortisol surge. When your circadian clock is properly anchored, the cortisol rise at 3 a.m. stays gentle. It nudges you toward lighter sleep without waking you. When your clock is drifting, the surge becomes erratic and powerful. This single habit, done consistently for 7 days, produces measurable changes in cortisol timing according to multiple circadian biology studies. It's your first line of defense. Protocol 2. Evening blood sugar stabilization. If blood sugar crashes are triggering your 3 a.m. wake-ups, the fix happens at your dinner table. 3 specific changes make the biggest difference. First, reduce refined carbohydrates in your evening meal, particularly after 7 p.m. Swap white rice, bread, and sugary foods for complex carbohydrates like sweet potato, legumes, and whole grains. Second, add a small amount of protein and fat to your last meal or evening snack. Protein and fat slow glucose absorption and blunt the insulin spike that causes the overnight crash. Third, and this is counterintuitive, a very small snack containing protein and a slow digesting carbohydrate 30 to 60 minutes before bed can actually prevent nocturnal blood sugar drops. Something like a tablespoon of almond butter with a few crackers. Not a meal, just a small anchor. A 2021 review in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition found that pre-sleep protein intake improved sleep quality and reduced nighttime awakenings in adults with disturbed sleep patterns. Protocol 3, the 3 a.m. brain reset protocol. This is the protocol most people never hear about, and it's the one that transforms the experience of actually being awake at 3 a.m. When you wake up in the middle of the night, the single most damaging thing you can do is check your phone. Blue light exposure at 3 a.m. is extraordinarily potent at suppressing melatonin and resetting your circadian clock to a later phase. Even 30 seconds of phone exposure can delay your ability to fall back asleep by 20 to 30 minutes. Here's what you do instead. Step 1. Recognize that you are in the amygdala window. Your brain is biologically primed for threat detection. Do not make decisions. Do not catastrophize. Simply acknowledge, this is my brain doing its biology. Step 2, use physiological sighing to downregulate your nervous system. This is a double inhale through the nose, a short inhale followed immediately by a second sharp inhale to fully inflate the lungs, then a long, slow exhale through the mouth. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman has extensively documented this technique as the fastest known method for reducing physiological arousal. Do this 3 to 5 times. Step 3, stay in bed, keep your eyes closed, and shift your mental focus to a non-stimulating, sensory-based thought. Not problem-solving, not reviewing your calendar. Something slow and concrete, like imagining walking through a familiar, peaceful location. This technique, called cognitive shuffling, activates the imagery generation systems in your brain that are associated with sleep onset, rather than the verbal analytical systems that keep you awake. Research from Dr. Luc Beaulieu-Prévost at the Université du Québec demonstrated that cognitive shuffling techniques reduced sleep onset time by an average of 13 minutes in individuals with elevated pre-sleep arousal.
Combine these 3 steps, and most people fall back asleep within 15 to 20 minutes. Part 5. The system view. Here's the bigger picture, and this is what separates people who permanently fix this from people who just white-knuckle through it. Waking up in the middle of the night every night is a symptom. It's not the root problem. The root problem is a dysregulated system, a cortisol curve that's too steep, a blood sugar regulation pattern that creates overnight crashes, and a circadian rhythm that's drifted out of alignment. You don't fix a system with a single intervention. You fix it with stacked, consistent inputs over time. Morning light anchors your clock. Evening nutrition stabilizes your blood glucose. The 3 a.m. reset protocol manages the acute episode when it happens. And over 7 to 14 days of consistent application, your entire sleep architecture begins to reorganize. Your cortisol curve smooths out, your REM transitions become less volatile, and that 3 a.m. wake-up, which once felt completely inevitable, simply stops happening. Now you understand exactly what's happening at 3 a.m., and you have 3 evidence-based tools to stop it. But here's the thing.
This video is just one piece of the puzzle. Because waking up in the middle of the night is almost always connected to deeper patterns in your sleep system, your sleep stages, your circadian rhythm, your adenosine buildup throughout the day. I've created an entire playlist called Sleep Science Explained, and it breaks down every single layer of your sleep biology in exactly this way: clear, actionable, built on real research. If you want to genuinely understand how your sleep works, not just patch it, but truly master it, that playlist is your next step. Click on it right now. It's linked right here. And if this video gave you something real, an actual aha moment, hit subscribe. Every single week, we publish one new video built entirely on sleep science and translated into strategies you can use tonight. No fluff, no guesswork, just the science of sleep and what it actually takes to wake up feeling rested. I'll see you in the next one.